Well, hello there. Let's see if we can do this now, though. Welcome back to SnowRunner. Yeah, in the last episode, though, we could not finish these trails. We are here with another scout. I'm very curious about this. I should have taken the front fender off, by the way, but I'm very curious if scouts can do this. Because those steep rock climbs are very difficult. We will find out right now, I suppose, if this one can do it. There we go. We did reset it a couple of times, so we could speed up a little bit at the same time. You know what I mean, though. So yeah, you know, we want to go speedy and steadily around here. Man, it was a lot of fun, though, huh? We got two broken by purpose. Not an accident, though. You know, like two scout trucks around here, so be aware of that. You gotta be, I don't know, man, you know, you gotta be a little bit lucky around here too, I might imagine. So far this one is doing rather well. Yeah, I don't know what it is though, but this truck feels real good. But this is the little part of disaster though, right? You know, these rocks are very, very difficult for, I might say, for what we are using here. And if I go too far to the right, you know what happens, right? You know, I might fall off. So let's see how it goes. I love this. I love this challenge, man. It really puts everything into real stress mode. Oh, there is my Yar. Come on. Yeah, we do need the speed and the push power though, huh? The problem is there's a lot of... Oh, wow, look at this though. Wow, this one went easy over there. Oh my god. It's way simpler than the Yar or the Khan. Oh my. What a monster though, this little guy, huh? No way though. I am so surprised by that. So extremely surprised. I don't know what to say right now, to be very fair with you. But wow, this is a rock climber though. Yeah, if I did take the fender off at the front, we have a lot more clearance. It's fully upgraded, by the way. In other words, we have the best engine in here. And we have the race suspension. And, you know, we have the autonomous scout and everything. Winch, that is. But that doesn't mean anything here. Slow and steady, though. This thing has a lot of power, by the way. Don't underestimate it. I kind of want to go to the left side, you know. The right one seems to be too slippery. We got less than 2 minutes right now. No way. No way. This is way too simple though right now. This is way too simple. If you have seen it yesterday though, you really should check it out, by the way, if you didn't. But if you have seen it already, then you know what I mean though, what I'm talking about here, right? You know how much we did struggle. And this is just a piece of cake right now. It is so difficult to believe. Okay, we got 1 minute and 10 seconds right now. For gold, that is. No way. No way. It's so easy. There we go. Great speed. Here is your well-deserved reward. Yeah, man, lock me up, though, because if you do this for money, I should be locked up, though, in an asylum. But I have to say, that's probably something I do in real life, though, but not as quick a bounce as I did right here. The International Loadstar 1700 or 1700. What a beast, though. What a beast, I have to say. My lord, though. We do need different tires on it to go a little bit better through the mud, but man, this might be our main scout from now on. I just... Yo, you know me, right? You know me. If you're a regular, you know me. That is worth quite a lot for me. More passenger seats. It's a little bit of a roleplay thing, but I think you guys are driving with me, right? You know, just makes a lot of sense, though, to me, right? You know, my oh my. What a beast, by the way. What a beast of burden. And this one can also have a little crane on its back. Then you can haul an interesting little scout trailer. You know, like a 2-slotter. You can do a lot of special driving with it and deliveries. Huh. Look at that. S plus power to weight. I am flabbergasted here. I'm telling you, I'm for real, I'm flabbergasted. Now, let me tell you which ones I had, and I got easily stuck on it though, right? You know, while driving around. It's a Jet OMD 3. Alright? Off-road, mud, deep, or yeah, that's what it is, I believe. Now, we could go for the universal off-road double. By the way, that's not deep, that's double. There we go. I think this one might actually be pretty decent for us to have though in comparison to these. Oh, darn it. I took the 2. I want to have the number 1s. I do really appreciate this type though. Alright, now as you can see, we are done here with the tasks. And we are done here with the tasks. So right now we have to choose which one we want to restore. And the paper mill is nice close by though, I have to say. So maybe we should actually do this. Kinda seems like fun. Now what do we have here? Metal beams, metal rolls, fuel, concrete blocks, and large pipes. I think we could do this one though, for real though. It seems to be right up my alley. Got 2 metal frames over there with the tuss. Mini warehouse. Yeah, we have a lot of options around here though. Huh, I appreciate all of it. Well, we can do 2 parts right now, and I think we're going to do with the, well, slightly smaller one, with the bricks around here and there. We have a lot of bricks around what we can just pick up anyways, and we are right now in this beautiful truck over here, the Padera STD4. So, I mean, you know, there's nothing for us to wait. Let's just keep them going. We don't have any repairs left on this big boy though, so we gotta be a little bit careful, but que sera, sera. We might get rid of the crane if we want to. So we are a little bit slightly tip friendlier. But off we go, boys. We do need 12 bricks, man. That's quite a weight that we have to put on these suspensions. Good that we are not doing it all at once though, huh? Yeah, I just want to say, don't be struggling right now though. That will be embarrassing. Don't these tires look a little bit too small for this truck though? Is it just me? I don't know. These are the official Padera tires. Real amazing tires, by the way. They are really, really good. But they look a little bit on the smaller side. There's room for more. Then again, the tires might be a little bit too close together, especially the rear ones. So there goes the tough luck though, huh? Tough luck, no room for more. There we are. 2 out of 12. Now this seems to be promising though, right? You know, I'm hyped though, man. You know, like we are building another factory together. And that's just awesome, right? You know, and there are multiple ones, of course. And they are not all gigantic as far as I can see, but every stage that we have will take a lot of time though. Don't underestimate that. That's a lot of cargo hauls though. The bricks alone, I would say, will be around, well, let's just call it 5 hauls. If you compare it to Michigan. If you compare it to most maps, it will be considered like 3 hauls though, right? So the thing about that is only the bricks, and we have all the other ones too. So yeah, you know, do your math. Now, if we do take the average is 4, then yeah, it will make sense that the bricks around here will be a 3. Interesting, right? I don't want to rely only on the twin steer though. You know how overpowered that thing is. We will be done in a jiffy, right? You know, so we want to stretch out things. We're gonna give the old trucks a little chance, new trucks a little chance. And everybody be happy, I hope. Now, the funny thing about this truck, some of you might already have noticed it though, right? You know, the eagle eyes among us. Alright, let's put it in high gear. Yeah? Now look at its speed. Back to auto. It is almost the same. It is almost the same. Keep that in mind. Now, low gear is a lot slower than high gear. But, well, a lot though. It's an overstatement, but man, you don't lose a lot of speed though, right? You know, not a lot of momentum you're losing when you're driving the Padera STD4. But of course, you know, the longer the road is and the longer you drive in a steady speed, nothing beats auto, I suppose. For those that don't know, this little patch over here, you can so underestimate it though, but it is way tougher looking than, well, it looks less, I might say, right? You know, it looks less difficult and less tough than it actually is because it drags you down though. This part is very boggy. Look at that though. We are sinking in, man. We are over halfway of our tires deep inside of that mud. That's a lot though. That's a lot. That's impressive. I just love to observe this though. Let's put the hood away. A little bit of a better view. Put her in high gear. I just love to see all the details though, right? You know, like in Farming Simulator is a good example too with all of this, right? There's so many things that you do see move. Let's say with the engine itself or any pistons and, you know, like anything, it's just moving though. And trucks in SnowRunner have a lot of detail too, not as much as in Farming Simulator because there are more moving parts on a tractor, right? And some farm tools. If we look at the suspension right there, the axis is turning around, right? You know, we can clearly see that over there. I just love the details. By the way, before we are going to do anything, and by doing anything I mean picking up, you know, from factories that we have to get, how shall I say, some generators too. We are going to take every building apart though on the map, I might say. I think that's a smart choice. We can also go to the warehouses, right, you know, that don't need any you know, like generators. No extra fuel has to be hauled there. You just can plunder those and then move on and then do whatever remains later on, right? You know, there's a benefit that it will actually help us out big time by knowing what we have to make and how we have to make it, you know, how we have to produce it and all, and where. And from that we can calculate the distance and the terrain difficulty, because distance does not mean more time, strangely enough though. By the way, for those that do like farming content and a little bit of outdoors, because I'm planning to add some hunting, fishing and park ranger though on my hunting channel. Check it out, it's called the Bale Boss. Large pipe, we do need that too. Good to know that there are some over here. Fuel, cement, Concrete slab. Now let's see. What do we need to get over here? Cement. All right. Well, we don't have enough cement around here. I just realized. Yeah. But at least these two will absolutely help out though quite a bit. But yeah, you know, that's more going to be my... Oh, that's kind of strange to say though. My nature channel. Because it's machines, hunting, fishing, and a little bit of outdoor stuff. But then again, look at the great outdoors over here. It's also a great outdoors, ain't it? Even greater than those games though. I mean in size. Except for the hunting ones. So yeah, you know, no promises though what's beyond there, because it's right now a little bit of a co-op channel, right? You know, with Peggy. So she's a little bit like, you know, she loves Farming Simulator, but she also loves some other games, and she doesn't know what to concentrate on right now. So that might change a little bit over there though, but there's a lot of beautiful farming content over there. Look at that. Looks like a swimming pool though, doesn't it? What the? Well, there has to be a lot of liquids though, right? You know, if you do make paper out of wood. But I've never guessed it would be an open air, you know, like a container. Interesting. Huh. Well, the more you know though, the more you know. I will take it with a grain of salt, of course, you know, but I will do some research about these paper factories. Wait a minute. Oh, it's not. Okay, I thought it was actually dark water in there, though. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. We can go right over there, right up, and then we can take this one, too. Oh, my. This is going quicker than I thought, though. Everything is nice and close by, at least for this factory. Meaning... the rest will not be, right, you know, but... Oh, well, that's something to worry about next time, I suppose, right? It's kind of cool to see those paper blocks over there. How cool is that? Kind of funny though how much infrastructure we already have completed a couple of episodes ago, and now we can actually make use of it, proper use. From this island we already have used a couple of drive-thrus though, so that's nice. Nice shortcut to the other side, right to the quarry, in other words. But it went butter smooth though, this map. I love it. I did hear a little bit of a rumor though that the next region is actually a difficult region though. I believe it is the hardest region in the game. Although I might be wrong. But what is considered difficult though? Something that takes a lot of time? Or something that is very annoying? You know, like there are so many different criterias about it. What I would find mostly annoying though, it's not that it takes a lot of time, but that it's made to frustrate you. You know? Where your trucks, no matter the power of it, just get dragged down so incredibly much though. And that you have nowhere to winch. But where you don't need a winch, there are actually tree stumps everywhere, right? You know, so you can winch. You know what I mean? It's like Kola Peninsula. So yeah, you know, like think about that. That map, though, huh? I love it. Real great ambience too. I look fondly back to it, though, right, with the struggles and all. But the thing about it is too, it has to be fair. It has to be fair at certain parts. And it was really made to frustrate you. And that's what I don't respect. Because how many of us, though, we just want to go home and entertain ourselves, you know, after paying the bills and all. see what's remaining. Maybe we can afford a little DLC, right? You know, nice little beer or a can of energy. Right, some beef jerky and a hot coffee, right? You know, and then we don't want to be screwed by something that's sadistic. And so far, I've only seen that in Kola Peninsula. Well, it's getting nighttime though, and I'm sure we can stay there somewhere at the factory. So let's make it before it gets pitch dark outside. And I would love to live here for real. Hunting, fishing, me and my truck, you know? Oh, I will pay for some satellite internet. Might be a little bit pricey though, but I would love to keep entertaining, right? You know? Just to be your daily buddy. Sharing stories together, you know what I mean? Now, let's go. Let's go right over there to the brick framing. Alright, off we go though. Not the smartest route, not the most direct route, but the one that I was curious about. Remember that little bridge down there? Yeah, I was so curious about it. I think you and I did it when we were drunk though. I don't know, but man, that doesn't look stable. That doesn't look stable at all, and that made me curious about it. I kind of want to drive over it. Come on, big boy. Oh, it would have been so cool if it would move a little. Oh, it does move a little bit, though. It would have been cooler if it would move a little bit more. But that was anticlimactic, though, huh? Yeah. Oh, we do need to drop through for Brits in the future, though. We really have to. Oh, look at that. There's one more. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why is this one not highlighted, though, huh? Okay, okay. Curious. Well, that's nice because that means 6, 8. Only 4 more after these two. Ain't that sweet though, huh? Let's see. Yeah, we kind of want to go up there. Could go to the right already. Oh, good, 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 good. All right, I already wanted to go to the right side. We lost a little bit of durability, but that's okay. It's good that we don't have to go, you know, mountain man right there. Going right into the wilds. Gonna have to get some gasoline though. Yeah, I think after the second house we are going to grab some gasoline from the gas station. Thank you very much though. Isn't it awesome though that all these people lost their homes? You know, because oh no man. You know, that we can actually get all of their raw materials. Oh, I hate that people lose their homes though. It's something that just even, you know, oh boy, that's what I get from it though. That's what I get from it, from that dirty joke. That's what I'm getting from it though, for real though. Oh man. Yeah, which one do we need though, huh? Let's just put this one back. We were a little bit roughnecking with that one. Yeah, let's go get a recovery one. I don't think this big boy can do it. We do need a tough one. The 60 we didn't use though in this entire map. But yeah, you know, even if it doesn't happen to you, it just crushes you, don't you? Or doesn't it? Man, the home though, huh, of someone. Yeah, as a kid, I've never publicly said this, before. But when I was 4 or 5 though, I remember I was very young. We did live in a car for a very long time. Yeah, tough times though back then, huh? Oh no, do you see which tires we have? Better change that up. But yeah, you know, like that's a tough thing to go through. And at a young age, yeah, it's camping, you know what I mean though, right? You know, you can fool a kid, but not that long, you know? Ah, it's difficult. It's kind of interesting that we have the ATHS right over here. Isn't this one of the best? Though, I think it is though. Ah, they are like similar to... Nah, they are not. I don't remember correctly though, so better not say anything about it. I have to say though, the 6C is an old school classic for me. It's slow, slower, but also steady though and unstoppable. Oh yeah. Papa, let's go and let's haul that girl right on its feet again. There we go. Oh, I was actually hoping it would actually roll a little bit further forward though, but that's okay. Let's just change this one right here. We can keep it parked though. You know, like right over there if we want, and arrive here we can just drive it off though, you know, off into the sunset. Well, let me recover all of this. It's going to be lots of joy. We are just going to do it quick though. And I do like this Pandera. What was it again? Banano. Yeah, the Banano type of crane. It's very quick though. It's real good. Very turnable and everything, right? You know, there is no delay with everything it does, you know. That's what I really appreciate about this little banana type of crane. All right, off we go. A bit further. Go perfect though, perfect. I know you would hire me, huh? Be a little bit careful around here. There we go. Nice. Just going with the curve and aggressively with it. Before we do have any weight on the top, right? You know, we have to go to the left or right. It's better to balance it out. Now, to go to that little house over yonder, what's the best way to reach that point? Maybe by the beach, though. Probably. Yeah, I think so. I don't know for a fact though, but it ought to be. It's nice and smooth around there. A couple of rocks, sure, but no big deal. No big deal. Can you imagine if there will be a new SnowRunner type or an engine update maybe, right? That there might be some things going on in the background. Let's say on the lake you see someone with a jet ski or a rowboat just pedaling around, you know. It doesn't disappear when you get closer. But you know, something like that. It will be so much fun to actually see the world come to life. I really want that for this game though, because it adds so incredibly much. It's like Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator, where you do see boats driving off, well, you know, drifting over the water around, sailing. You see airplanes, you do see trains, you see other cars and people. It is so much fun though, so much fun. Yeah, I think we are going to go down here to the left. But you really feel alive in that world, you know what I mean? Now I believe the new truck game from the game devs, Saber Interactive, is going to be Road Kings, and I believe it's going to be like Euro Truck mixed with SnowRunner. And man, I'm already getting ready for that one though. I am getting ready for it. I love the idea. There's some disasters going around, you know, like massive storms, floods and all, and man, to go through that though, huh? With the graphics, what I've seen, oh man, I'm dreaming already. And I know I am geeking out though, for real, but I want my simulation games to be as realistic as possible without the consequences of it, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's just keep the consequences away, mostly, right? You know, we want to have some in-game consequences, because those are fun. Right, we cannot have everything that's too easy, because it will bore everyone too. And of course, there's a massive audience though that just likes to meme about everything. Let's say no traffic, no speed limits. Well, there might be traffic, but no traffic tickets, you know. In other words, you drive too quick and you do pay a fine. In Euro Truck Simulator, it's very strict with that, right? You know, same goes for American Truck Simulator. But they have no, you know, like they have that off. So if they do ram another truck, car, or anything, go over the speed limit, etc., they don't get, you know, a fine, and that's fine if you want to play it like that. And then they have no speed limit for their cars, so they go faster and faster and faster. And then I always wonder, though, I'm not judging that, right? You know, I'm just wondering, like, it's a simulation game, and you play it like Need for Speed. And you can have Need for Speed. You know, it doesn't click in my head. On the other side, I do get it, right? You know, you just want to unwind. You really love trucks. You love the world. And I get that. But then again, if you are playing it like that, you don't need anything. You only need the steering wheel and the gas pedal. So all the details of the trucks, all the extra buttons though. Certain trucks, there are over 40 buttons that you can use. You know, like all of that goes out of the window. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. But for me, yeah, I like them realistic though. It's so much fun. And sure, I've been tempted too, alright. Just to force the pedal to the metal. So how many do we need more of these? Wait a minute. Metal beams, few concrete blocks. Ah, there we go. Okay, we do need 4 more. Now let's see. We can get this one over there. There are 2 blocks, bricks. And then we can get that one too. I kind of want to try out a different truck though for this task. So let's go and park this one around here somewhere. You know what? I'll just park it over here. Hopefully nobody minds. You know what? Let's go a little bit further. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is so American and European Truck Simulator. Oh yeah. Plow. Park right over here. Beautiful. This is going to be a little bit interesting though, huh? Look at that. Well, I have 1000% confidence though in this truck. It's only a little bit still negative though that I've been talking about in a couple of regions about this truck is that we don't have the suspension increase right now. It's the SF73210. Been driving this thing since, I believe, time here though, huh? So yeah, you know, if this thing gets a race suspension though, and I'm not sure which map, I believe it's in Amour though. So it will be nice, that will be very nice though. But man, I love this design, I really do like it. Look at that. Hoppa. So yeah, you know, like it's a tank by the way, it's not a rocket unless you have a very slow rocket, but it is difficult to stop. Says I. When it wanted to stop. But yeah, you know, like it is a very wonderful truck, I have to admit. It's always on with all-wheel drive and differential lock, very fantastic though. But what is killing this truck right now, it is the race suspension issue. It is too flat on the floor, especially with that nose hanging over though. So yeah, that is something you have to accept until you do get the race suspension. But once it goes, it just keeps on going. And that's the beautiful thing about this truck. It's been a while that I've driven it too, by the way. Yeah, it is slow, it is steady, as you can see, it just keeps on going. The thing about it also is that, does it keep on going? Not really anymore. Oh boy. Well, there we go. Let's keep on going in this way with the winds. But yeah, you know, like it is really suffering from the low flooring. That's something that we can live with. We just have to adjust everything about it. Now, wasn't here somewhere that beautiful waterfall? Yeah, it's right ahead of us. It's the first time that we are actually going to drive there with some cargo. And with a 10-wheeler. So it is a very long truck too at the same time. It's almost like the twin steer, but this one is a little bit more forgiving. It is lower on the ground, meaning you don't tip over as heavy. A little tip for the twin steer, by the way. You can just lower the suspension with that one and you will be fine. Sure, you might get stuck a little bit more often. Just a little bit though, or slow down more often. But in general, it is way more friendly though for rolling over and all that stuff. So, yeah. Twin steer is almost unbeatable at this point. Come on, big boy. This is also what I mean. It goes slow uphill though in high gear, but it keeps on going. Now, this makes me a little bit nervous. Oh, yeah. I mean, the current we did test out, it is not that strong, but it's the angle of it all though. Let's keep it in low gear. I can imagine with a trailer attached to it though, it will be really difficult. Yeah, and the nose right now, yeah, this is the issue what I mentioned before. Why this truck desperately needs a suspension, because, oh boy. Look at that. Yeah, it's an issue though. It's a big issue. A very, very big issue, as you can see. The rocks and all. Ay, 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 ay. How are we going to fix this one? I don't think we can actually fix this position right now. Unless... I don't know. My first time here, by the way. Great memories. Oh. Let's just go like this. We can fix it. Yeah, this is no biggie. Any other truck would have tipped over. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. I wonder if that mini warehouse over there actually has metal rolls though. That would be nice. Yeah, this is the single reason why I'm not driving this truck anymore. It's the flat nose though, man, you know. It is sniffing dirt 24/7. And then we have lots of maps though with lots of rocks here and there. Just adding on onto the issues. fact that it's still such a joy no matter what to drive, right? You know, no matter what we face, it's still such a joy. Alright, from here on, it's going to be easy driving, except for these little hiccups. Oh yeah. But imagine that. Your nose is full in the dirt and you just keep on pressing on, right? You know, until your nose gets out of the dirt. That is this truck. And that's why I respect it so much. Sometimes you do need a little bit of help though, but that's only in these little dips right off the road. If it weren't for those dips, we would totally just keep pressing on. I respect that a lot, by the way. Now this is going to be one of the toughest parts, right? You know, this up or down dried river. Why up or down? Because it's a perfect highway for trucks, right? But yeah, you know, the Zigzag is still parked over yonder. But this is a pretty decent balancing act though for a test road, right? So if you want to test a truck out, take him over here and just pedal to the metal. Don't do it with any cargo, by the way, right? You know, have a recovery truck close by if you want to. But yeah, it is proper decent though to actually try them out here. Now we don't get the speed because we keep bumping our nose into everything. Yeah, this truck doesn't care. It doesn't care. It doesn't want to tip. Nothing at all. The suspension is so extremely good though by taking in the different terrain heights. It is so incredibly good though, this truck. Man, what a crippled monster though, huh? Look at that nose. And normally these rocks won't mind either. Yeah, it's the nose again. Do you see that? The rocks that is right now below the suspension, it doesn't care about it. It doesn't even notice it. Look at the rocks though. Look at that. No matter what I do though, right? You know, at this moment, I could go crazy of course, but let's just play it fair and dumb. Oh, is it the nose? It could be the one that I'm balancing myself on right now. Let's see. No, it was the nose again. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. See what I mean though? Oh yeah. Let's keep her going. This one is going back into retirement. It was such a joy to drive it again though. Gotta admit that. Now, Paper Factory Section B. Section A is going to be after this one, of course. Man, I want to... Oh, wow. I actually realize it, though, right now. Look at that scaffolding right there. It's going to be a tall fabric. Fabric? That's a whole different language, though, right? You know? Company, yeah. Factory. It's kind of funny, man, you know, like different languages. Their names come so close, you know, with certain descriptions. Like in Dutch, for an example, that's Fabrik. But also in German, you know. And there are so many other ones too that are so close. It's so funny, man, how much everything is related. Green Lake Paper and Packaging. Do not enter. Entry. Loading area, beautiful. Boom, boom. There we go. And the next part we do in the next episode. So by that, I really want to thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful time. I hope you had a great one, though. I had for real. See you later. Bye-bye.